What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which means it's time for another Western New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today is actually a collaboration brew between the Upstate Brewing Company out of Elmira, New York, and the Thin Man Brewery out of Buffalo, New York. And this is their Mana, and they're calling this a Tahitian Stout. So this is an Imperial Stout that is brewed with vanilla and toasted coconut. Comes in at 8% alcohol by volume, 10 IBUs, and at the time of review, this can is approximately just over 5 weeks old. So this is the first review from Upstate on the channel. I dig what they do. I've been to the brewery once before, and they get limited distribution in the Western New York area. Really like their hop forward offerings. I've had some tasty, darker beers from them as well. Obviously, I have featured Thin Man on a Western New York Wednesday quite a few times, and I dig what they do as well. So, toasted coconut, vanilla, Imperial Stout. Yes, please. Yes. So, this is, I actually just threw this in the fridge for like 15, 20 minutes because it was room temperature. I know, Paul, I should just drink it room temperature, but the room was like 75 degrees, so nah. Anyway, gonna crack it open, pour it into the hashtag proper glass where we got the Upstate glass. Yeah. Give this a pour, see what we got going on. Some Dirty Glass Mafia, of course, because why wouldn't we? And we're good. Yeah. So that pours out a that's a really deep, dark brown. This looks like more of like an Imperial Porter than anything. Some lighter, muddled brown hints at the bottom. I wouldn't even call them ruby red. I'd just say like a darker, unfiltered brown. About a finger of a very rocky head. Like there's a lot of big bubbles here too. It's like a light tan. We'll go straight up tan colored head. Yeah. Chris. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. Chris always says I do. Do I do that all the time? I guess I do that a lot. Anyway, let's get a nose on it. Ooh. Letting it air out a little bit. At first, there was like a little bit of funkiness going on. But yeah, as that dissipates, some darker chocolate, some really roasted malts too, like really deep, dark roasted malts as well. Slight hint of coconut. Not really big on the coconut. It's just there. I can tell it's there. If I was doing this blind, it'd be hard, but since they say it's there, I get it. Vanilla's not really screaming as well. Like, vanilla's not really a huge flavor for me that's hard to pick out, but a lot of times I've been noticing I get more vanilla from lactose than actual vanilla or vanilla beans, so I don't know. Maybe a touch of coffee in this one as well. There is a slight alcohol astringency on the nose, which is kind of concerning a bit, but it's 8%, right? We've been spoiled. Yeah, it doesn't smell bad, but it also doesn't smell like amazing or anything. I want to get into it, so let's do so. Cheers. It's pretty solid. It's actually pretty good. But here's the problem. I'm not picking up a ton of coconut. I'm not picking up a ton of vanilla. What I'm drinking here is a very solid and good, just base Imperial Stout. A lot of deep, dark roasted malts. Definitely dark chocolate, more of like the 60, 70, 80% cacao bar type of dark chocolate as opposed to like your Hershey's dark chocolate, your Hershey's special dark chocolate that's sweeter. 8%. It is a bit thin, Paul. Chris, I had to say it again, but it is a bit thin. This is like medium bodied, maybe even like lower side of medium bodied. This is actually quite thin considering it's 8%. Mouthfeel, a little bit more carbonation than I like, but it does have like a slight softness to it. It's not overly carbonated. It's just, again, I say this a lot in reviews, but for me personally, I prefer when you're talking like 7.5%, 8% and upwards, I want the body of the beer to be soft, smooth, creamy, luscious, pillowy. I want something that's not going to be, that doesn't have a lot of carbonation to it. This one has a little bit more carbonation I prefer, but for the style itself, it's probably appropriate. I get ever so slight tinges of vanilla on the like sides of the tongue, sides of the palate. There is this distinct dryness on the back end. This dries out quite a bit. This isn't overly sweet. There is a nice sweetness up front, but it does dry out, semi-dry to full-on dry finish, and I feel like the coconut is adding to that dryness. They are using toasted coconut, and there is like a nice toasty, roasty flavor to this one. That's maybe where the coconut's coming from, or the coconut character, but there's actually no like straight-on coconut flavor that I'm detecting, at least on my palate. I mean, it could be different if you've had this beer, but for me, I'm just not really picking up any true coconut flavor. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't want to say I'm disappointed in this beer because I didn't have expectations coming this one. I didn't think it was going to be amazing. I didn't think it was going to be shit. I just, I didn't really know. It's like, oh, here comes a vanilla and toasted coconut Imperial Stout from two breweries that I enjoy. We'll see what we got going on. What is here is a very nice Imperial Stout. For me, though, it's lacking in vanilla. It's lacking in toasted coconut. That said, I rate beers based on how I'm enjoying the beer, regardless of what's in the beer or what should be in the beer. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm a terrible beer tuber, so I'm always doing it wrong. But as far as what I'm enjoying of this beer, I'm enjoying the base Imperial Stout characteristics. It does have nice chocolate, darker chocolate notes, some coffee notes, more of like a deeply roasted malt character with tinges and hints of that vanilla and the coconut like dryness. So for me, I'm just going to give this beer a straight 3.75 out of 5. That was Mana, the Tahitian Stout from Upstate Brewing Company in conjunction with the Thin Man Brewery. I think it's a solid beer. I wish there was more coconut flavor. I wish there was more vanilla flavor. At the same time, I do appreciate that it isn't an overly sweet, like crazy, like pastry stout or something. It does have a nice base to it that I'm thoroughly enjoying. I have no problem drinking the rest of that can, which I'm going to do so off camera. So I appreciate you guys stopping by another review and another Western New York Wednesday. Until the next one, cheers.